What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unrelated Sports Podcast on YouTube now. I am Andy McConnell,
Yeah.
and with me is, let's see, oh yeah, it's the birthday boy, Cody Allstat. Cody, happy birthday. How are we?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Andy. Had a great birthday, other than, the working part of it.
Yeah, yeah. At least you only had to work half a day, though. So
That's true. Off by noon. And
yeah.
then came home and tried to get my kid to sleep, which took about 2 hours.
Nice, nice.
But
The most important question, does everything hurt? Are you at that point where everything hurts yet?
Some days, not every day, but
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say that when I get down and play with the kids, Aiden, my 2-year-old, has a game where he likes to charge me like he's a
Nice.
triceratops from Land Before Time.
Ooh.
And he rams me, and getting up from that, well, usually it leads to him jumping on my back after he's knocked me over. then my daughter also jumps on me. So by the time I get up from that, I'm hurting pretty good.
That's understandable.
I don't get up very quickly, but I keep signing up for more and more of it. So who's to blame?
You get knocked down, then you get back up again.
Because they're never going to keep me down.
Yeah. Land Before Time, by the way. Did love those movies. Those were good movies.
So I know that I watched them a lot as a kid, but I don't remember watching them. But a couple of weeks ago, we were at my mom's house having dinner, and we turned on Land Before Time for the kids to watch in another room. And my mom hadn't seen it in 20 years or 30 years probably since I was a little kid. And she heard the first song of oh my God, I loved this movie. So that's how much I used to watch that movie. At least the original one.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how many. I don't even remember how many movies there were.
There are so many. I was at my cousin's house a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And he had a disc with 20 Land Before Time movies.
Holy shoot. I only thought there was maybe 6.
Oh,
maybe.
no.
I don't know.
There's a lot. But you want to hear a not so fun fact from that movie?
What?
The little girl that played Ducky, she was also the main girl, I think Annie or something like that, in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Same girl did the voice of that. After those two movies came out, she was brutally murdered by her father, who was jealous of her stardom, basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yep. I think it was a murder-suicide. Maybe also the wife. I'm not sure, but yeah, fun little fact. I told you I've listened to a lot of murder podcasts.
Yeah. And you just kind of
sprung that on
your birthday, and then you just brought the vibe down.
Well, today is also the anniversary of Hitler's death.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so Hitler died, and then when were you born?
It was. I'm not the reincarnation, no, because
Okay, good.
I don't really hate anybody, other than Jets fans.
And me sometimes.
Well, sometimes, but I tolerate you.
That's true. But okay, now, do you like Jets fans more or Patriots fans more?
Ooh, I'm gonna have. That's. Do I like stubbing my left or my right toe? That's basically what you're asking.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say I can tolerate Jet fans better most of the time. Mostly because they've never been good, in my lifetime. They've had a couple good seasons, but they haven't. Patriots fans, terrible winners. When they're winning, and they do not know how to lose. This new era of them sucking has been fantastic for me, but they do not handle it well.
But here's the thing that sucks, and this is in terms of all Boston sports. While one team may suck of the 4 major sports, the other 3 are good.
Yeah, that's true.
The Red Sox are iffy this year. They're always up and about every other year. They're up and down. But the Celtics are the favorites to win the NBA title.
Yep.
And then the Bruins are they're still playing. They lost against Toronto tonight. But it's a spoiled fan base. It really is.
Yeah, very, very much so. And like people that grow up in with a team that they love that is historically good are very spoiled because like they don't know how to handle losing seasons or terribleness like I have dealt with my whole life.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, the 6 games to Brent Hundley, that was rough. Yeah. That was really rough as a Packer fan. Just gonna.
You want me to start throwing quarterback names out there? I can. Tyler Thigpen, Pat White,
Scott Tolzien, Matt Flynn,
Chad Henne,
Seneca Wallace.
I mean, have you named all of them you've had since in your lifetime? Because
yeah, aside from Brett Favre, Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what.
I can't relate.
No, but that's completely understandable. So speaking of spoiled fan bases, the number 2 fan base. I hate the Minnesota Wild and their fan base for hockey, but the number 2 fan base that I hate in all of the NHL is the Vegas Golden Knights. They've been good since they came into the league in 2018. I cannot stand them. They don't know how to handle losing at all, and I'm looking forward to when they're completely irrelevant in about 6 years.
Will it take that long?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to give it about 6 because they'll have the one bad year, and then I think when you stack bad years on top of one another, then I think that's when, especially in Vegas, where I don't know if I think there's a couple things to do other than just go watch a hockey game. I could be wrong on that.
That's the thing about your Green Bay. No matter what, people are going to be there because there's nothing winning or lose. Win, lose or draw, people are going to go there. Same with Minnesota. As much as you hate to say it, Detroit, there's nothing else to do.
Yep.
Chicago, nothing there's not the outdoor possibilities. You go to Miami, you go to LA, you go to
warm weather climate basically.
Used to be San Diego. People have beaches and stuff like that. Do we want to go sit in the boiling stadium and watch the Dolphins piss one down their legs, or do we want to go enjoy the beach and look at scantily clad women in bikinis? I know where I am. Actually, I'm probably watching the Dolphins piss one down their legs.
You're at the football game. Probably, I know where you're at.
Yeah.
That's why, you're right. And on the flip side, in Green Bay, when it's cold out, everybody's just going to be they're just going to be all bundled inside a Lambo, all
right,
touchy-feely with each other.
Yeah. Packed in like sardines.
Yeah. We know because we've been there.
We have. Same time. Didn't know each other. West side. Maybe again this year. We're playing.
Ooh, I keep forgetting about that.
I said Dolphins pissed one down their leg.
Yeah.
They should be playing Detroit this year, but no.
Yeah, said you get to come to Lambeau.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Tundra.
I know that my wife and I are planning, as of right now, of going to Indianapolis this year for a game.
Oh, nice.
So
nice. Indy had been there before, not for a game, but for the Brickyard 400 in 2015.
Yeah.
No, 2016, sorry. Very nice area.
Yeah.
Very underrated city in the Midwest.
Yeah, I've been to the city. I've never been to the stadium I've just been through it.
Well, what's funny, so when we went there, we actually stayed at a Holiday Inn literally right across from Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh, nice.
Right outside my our hotel window, I saw the sign that said Lucas Oil Stadium, so it's pretty cool.
You could basically, they're is that stadium modeled after Peyton Manning's head? Should be.
Yeah, I think. In all honesty, I think it is. It is the house that Peyton built.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to think, how many years did he get to play there? No, he still got to. Actually, at that stadium, he got to play there. I think for 5 years before the injuries happened. 4 or 5 years before the injuries happened. But
he was something special to watch.
Yeah. I mean, again, a lot of people remember the last 2 years of the Denver years where it was like the noodle arm, but nah, it was, especially Peyton in Indy, that was so fun.
That was fun. He was a fun guy to watch.
Okay, so I'm going to circle back quick to hockey, just because my Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights are the only series that is tied at 2 right now. Every other series is either done or it's tied at 3-1.
Yep, I know
Um,
the Panthers dominated last night to close
yeah,
out their series against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
and I think they basically just ended the Lightning like as we know it, because it sounds
Yeah.
like their captain Steven Stamkos might be gone, and they might have to make some other moves. So that's good. I do not like Tampa, so they can go away too. Um, but yeah, so Vegas and Dallas, the road team has won every game so far. So now they play tomorrow night on a Wednesday, and it's basically best 2 out of 3. Winner goes on to the next round, more than likely to face the Colorado Avalanche, I would say.
Okay. It was
Um,
because Colorado's up 3-1 right now.
yeah, they're currently tied at 2 midway through the second period,
Okay.
against the Winnipeg Jets. But yeah,
F the Jets. Just even if
that's
it's
fine.
not
They're in Canada,
Canada.
anyway. Nobody cares about Canada.
This is America.
They got a leaf on their flag. So I mean,
It's true. Maple Leaf. Come on.
I hope we don't have any subscribers in Canada. If not, I think we just lost them.
our subscriber count went from 5 to 3.
Actually, we're at 6. We are at 6. Yeah.
Which reminds us,
On the YouTube
people,
page.
if you're liking or watching our video, please subscribe.
Yes.
It would make me
For
feel
those who
better.
did-
I've been getting made fun of because you have 70 views on this video, but only 5 subscribers. I heard that on Friday night.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
That's hurtful.
they were laughing at us. I mean, come on.
Hey, but again, we're slowly building a brand here.
It is.
I finally got us up on YouTube. It only took like 15 months, but we're there.
The explosion happened.
Exactly. I mean, Rome wasn't built in one day.
Nope.
I think that's what somebody said.
Yeah, Tony Romo.
Actually,
right?
no, actually, LeBron. LeBron said that when he was playing in Miami. And now, now LeBron and his Lakers are gone. They got beat by the Denver Nuggets, which Denver looks good. Jamal Murray on a bad calf. I think it was a bad calf. Basically, it's his second game winner of the series and sent the Lakers packing.
It's just fine.
So, yeah. Basically, for the NBA, it's looking like it's a change into the guard because there's no LeBron, no Kevin Durant, no Steph Curry, none of like the superstars of yesteryear. It's all the new crop of stars, which we kind of have gotten to see that over in the NFL, over the last how many years, where you have the Mahomeses of the world, the Lamars, now maybe the CJ Strouds, the Tuas. I mean, you can say Brock Purdy if you want to, or Jalen Hurts, but it's like you're in the new. Yeah, hopefully Love. But it's in with the new and out with the old.
Yeah, I mean,
you
I just saw that in the wrestling world too. Something fierce. I mean, you had David Taylor, 33 years old, prime for another Olympic run, and it didn't even get to he didn't qualify. He got beat by a teammate who's 9 years younger than him and looking stellar.
Well, as I always say, Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
Whether people want to admit it or not. I mean, even I've seen it in the NASCAR world where, much as I love Jeff Gordon, his last year was bad. It was really bad. Like, he had an awesome 2014 season, and then his 2015 season, he won one race at Martinsville. Jimmy Johnson didn't win a race for his last, 3 years.
And that's the thing is, like, they fall off a cliff. It goes from, doing really good to, terrible.
Yep. And
quickly.
This is maybe just my opinion, what I've noticed, but usually, guys will, when they're getting up there in age, they'll kind of start plateauing a little bit, and then they'll have that one last spike, and then as soon as they have that spike up, they have the equally hard spike down.
Yeah.
Even we saw it a little bit with Tom Brady. In a sense, where Tampa, he played well, where after he'd kind of start faltering with New England, he had that rise up for the year they won the Super Bowl, and even maybe just half of the next year, and then it crashed, and it crashed hard.
It did. The same. Look at Peyton. Kind of got lucky with his, but because he got lucky enough that his defense was fantastic, and he didn't play most of his final season, and he did not have to do much in that Super Bowl.
Nope, he got benched for Brock Osweiler.
Brocktober.
I gotta say, yep. Well. Like with Peyton, he had since he came to Denver, he had the 2 insanely awesome years, and then the 2014, I think it was 2014, that playoff game against Indy of all teams, and Andrew Luck. That's when it looked like the arm finally just let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, Peyton's never the same.
No.
He just, like you said, he got lucky. They got carried by an awesome defense and by Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller was fantastic.
Oh boy, especially prime Von.
Yeah.
So hey, you're telling me too. We get a new season of Welcome to Wrexham.
Yes, that's coming out. I believe Thursday of this week is the newest episode. Season 3 starts. That's gonna highlight their 1 year that they had in League Two. Because spoiler alert, if you've listened at all, they do get promoted. They get second. They actually do earn second place in their on their table. So that's pretty stellar. I know they've got some big new. I mean, they got a really big. They've got like 3 or 4 games that they're going to be playing in the United States this year. I know against Chelsea United, and I don't know. There's a couple other ones that have just been announced. Maybe one of them is in Canada. It's a West Coast tour. It's going to come this year. Be cool to see if it wasn't in California.
Now, I wonder, with the star power that they have with the ownership, with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, and the continual growth up the ladder. I know that we've talked about how it's a good thing and a bad thing when they start going up, because then their better players start getting picked from other teams. But wouldn't you think then that as they go up, and especially the draw that they have, especially being with the whole TV show and everything, maybe they're going to be able to pick their own star players, if not maybe just keep their star players?
I think so. And I know like right now they're one of their main weapons or main. Paul Mullen is kind of like their one of their main stars, and he is not only playing there because he loves it there, but he there's family in wherever Wrexham, so Wales.
Okay.
So he wants to stay with that, and he said like he wants to stay with them into the Premier League. Like his goal is to stay with them for their career. So that's good news. I don't know if he's good enough to he's a great player, and he's been a great player in League Two. He was in whatever league they were in before that, and like he's been very good. But we'll see how he does in League One. I hope he continues to be the star that he has been for him. Another thing with as they move up, I was kind of talking to Zach, one of our. I'm going to say he's our soccer or football expert. Works with us. He was telling me like a lot of them. So like let's say like Manchester City or something has some players that they don't use. Well, they will loan them out to a team, like let's say in the Championship League or League Two or League One, because they don't use them, and they give them some
So like reps, basically.
Yeah, basically like kind of using the other leagues as like a minor league system for themselves or whatever. But once they get up to like, okay, let's say Wrexham were to get into the Premier League, well, do you think Manchester City is still going to be loaning them out their players to play against them? No. So that's an issue that they start to run into there too. Obviously, they're going to have more money now though as they progress.
Yeah.
So.
Could you imagine like a system like that in like the NFL?
Oh my god!
Like let's just say the NFL to like the UFL, for example. Like if there's like 4 or 5 big either practice squad guys or just lower tier roster guys on the NFL, and then you loan them out to like a UFL team, or vice versa.
That'd be fantastic for the sport, I think. But at the same time, that's a sport that like injuries are so big and ever looming. But that the same is true in soccer. Like there's, I didn't think there was, but like watching some of it, they take some nasty hits.
I know. Well, see, the problem is with with soccer athletes is half the time you can't tell if they're actually hit or if they're just trying to play dead.
That's also very true.
So it's like, then when you're watching like I'll bring it back to like hockey, when especially during the playoffs, when you're watching guys like take pucks off the face, and then it's like 2 minutes later, it's like nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's bleeding lip and missing a couple teeth, but it's fine. He can keep going.
Well, and I see that's not even set on just players. Like when I was watching, I think it was Dallas. I don't know if it was Dallas and Vegas, or there was another first round series, but a ref took a puck right to the chin.
Oh wow!
like all bandaged up and stitched up. And I think he just maybe missed the remainder of the period, or maybe even half of the period, and then he was back in, like nothing happened. It's like, man, those guys are just
They're tough. They're different. They are built different for sure.
Well, like
But
even sorry, go ahead.
I do want to give a shout out to my buddy Will Biederman and his Decorah United Soccer Club. I believe it's like I don't know what age group. I think he's around 11, but he's on a traveling soccer team, and they've played 2 tournaments so far this year, and they have won them both. And I know that Will has scored a couple of hat tricks already this year. So
Nice.
He's the kid that if you go back to I think it was our very first episode, I was talking about a little kid schooling me in soccer. Well, that would be Will.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
gosh.
I shouldn't say little kid because he's growing up into a stellar young man. Love you, buddy. And your dad's birthday's coming next week, so that reminds me.
That's awesome.
So
that's what we like. That's what we liked it. We like winners here on this.
Exactly.
Podcast. We do.
Will is a winner. For sure.
Oh, hey, you know what was also back in the winner's circle this week? Rory McIlroy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a team event, but still. Rory and Shane Lowry won the Zurich Classic, which is a PGA Tour team event.
That was pretty sweet.
They beat 2 guys who I think were basically trying to get their tour cards, so they kind of squashed a fun little narrative. But still.
And I don't know if they won it as so much as the other guys blew it at that. Yeah. I believe there was a pretty short missed putt to lose it.
Keep that. Yeah. But I mean, good for Rory and Shane. I think Rory was he singing Don't Stop Believin'? I think I don't know if they had a little tent here or something, but he was like singing after the event, and it's like, oh boy, those Irishmen like to have fun.
They do. They're fun. You like to see a guy like him when he's relaxed. He's a different,
cocky a little bit.
Yeah. Got that little arrogance to him.
Yeah, cocky Rory's a scary Rory.
And that's what you want. That's what your best athletes have. That 100%. Sometimes it'll rub off some people the wrong way, but you need a little arrogance. If you're too down on yourself or anything, it's awful. I think I've told you this story before, but there was a wrestler on my high school team. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he was a very good wrestler, and he was a place winner in state. And I believe it was he was a little bit younger than me, but just a year younger than me. He placed his sophomore year in state, and then the next year he had to wrestle a guy that he had wrestled in the state tournament the year before. Mm-hmm. And he was ranked higher, like the guy on my team was ranked higher than the other guy. And we were going to wrestle the same team, and he was going to wrestle him again. And he was beat before he went out there. This guy's better than me. I got lucky last year. It was the strangest. I did not expect it at all, because I was seeing this guy as oh my God, he plays so highly, so young, he at a tough weight. He's going to be a superstar in the next couple of years. I thought multiple time state champ for sure. And he was a very good wrestler for Decorah, but he opened my eyes to you have to have some kind of swagger. Otherwise you cannot be mentally beat before you go out there. You have to believe it.
That was always Tiger's MO. He just knew he was better than everybody else, and he was just going to kill you when he got out there.
Yep. And he did it.
That's what Mahomes has now.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's what MJ had back in the day of yeah, I know I'm better than you. I'm going to make up reasons why I'm going to be better, or why you might be better than me in my head, and then I'm going to kick the ever living daylights out of you.
I'm going to prove to myself that that's not true, basically.
Yeah.
But you just I don't get it. I didn't get it at all, and I still remember that so vividly. Strange.
Yeah, that's interesting how you can flip that mind, or you know what I mean? How you can go from beating the kid to then just the next year.
So myself, whenever I beat somebody, if I ever had to wrestle again, I was not. I was like, I can beat them. There is nothing that can stop me from beating him. And I remember like having an opponent that me and him wrestled a lot throughout our career, and like he beat me the first time. And actually, I'd say for the first about 5 or 6 matches we ever had, it was like every other one between the two of
Hmm.
us. And then I started winning, and I started widening that gap because like I know I can beat him. There's no way he should beat me ever again, and he never did. And I believe he ended up quitting.
Dang, you made a
But
kid quit, Cody. Wait,
I did.
wow, wow.
Oh, I've made multiple kids quit, but some of them were
Oh,
at work.
oh, okay, okay. Well, that's another discussion for another day. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll, we'll get there eventually. Um, so let's see.
What other? Well,
I don't know. It's been
let's talk about
oh, go ahead.
Caitlin Clark and her rise at in Indiana Fever already. Like she's making waves.
Hey, by the way, I know we've talked about this before, but are we the official like hype podcast for women's sports? Are
I
we kind
believe
of
so.
ranging toward there?
I definitely believe so because we do talk like, and I'm not going to say like we're not going out of our way trying to sound like we're talking about women's sports a lot. We
Yeah.
just actually like in like women's golf we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Women's basketball we know I know nothing about, but like I've been enjoying watching um, Caitlin Clark, and I'm gonna enjoy watching her in the pros a little bit, probably not a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
more than I ever have before. I
Yeah.
definitely enjoy watching women's wrestling, and you know what? The Olympics is coming up this year, and I'm gonna watch a lot of women's sand volleyball.
I think all men will. I mean, I do they have women's wrestling in the Olympics at all?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Gotcha.
that Amador dev, qualified for the United States, so hopefully we'll see her win a gold. Yeah, there's six actually all 6 women that there's only freestyle in men's. There's freestyle and Greco-Roman, but there is just 6 women wrestling, and they qualified all 6 weights for the Olympics. So
Okay.
I know
Cool.
I don't know all of them that won. I know Dom Parrish is one of them. Amidalor, Kayla Miracle, Kennedy Blades, who like that Kennedy Blades and Amidalor are both very young, and so that was like another spot I was gonna say bring this up earlier that like that changing of the guard happened where they both took out like people that have been on the U.S. world teams multiple times,
Dang.
and they're the young ones that are up and coming. And oh, I know Amidalor beat uh, Forrest Molinari, who used to wrestle for the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. Now she wrestles for Sunkist out of Arizona
Okay.
State. So,
Hey. So I was listening to a Caitlin Clark little interview the other day. You know, she's actually a gamer. Yeah.
oh
She
really?
was. I think they were asking her how she was adjusting to life in Indianapolis or something along. It was something along that line. And she was said that I think she was like working on moving or moving into an apartment, but currently she's like in a hotel, and she brought her PS5 with her, but she hasn't like got it all hooked up or anything. So Caitlin
Yes.
Clark, certified gamer, just adds to the
One
just
of
adds to the
us.
popularity. Yes, you were right. One of us.
Oh, you know what? I need to do a segment. I need to start a new segment, by the
Okay.
way, about my Madden League that I'm on year 21 of, I
Yep.
believe. And I have one. It's just with me and one friend, Ross. What's up, Ross? I don't know if you're listening or not, but I won my, I'm going to say 21 seasons, probably 17th Super Bowl.
Nice. That respect.
Um,
Respect.
yeah, domination. This one was, we've had some close games. This was a close game, 28-21, but yeah, I'm just letting you know that I'm dominant in that game.
Oh, just wait till the people get to hear about my.
Madden, it's Madden 21.
So it was still a good match, a decent
If
match.
that,
It wasn't a bad. wasn't a bad men.
Yeah.
But just wait till the people get to hear about my domination of you when we fire up a college football league in like 3 months.
Imagination Land?
Well, no, that's if you win.
I win.
You're not ready for my air raid offense.
Oh my god.
I pass to set up more passing. That's what I do.
And I pick 6 to set up more pick 6s.
Yeah, but see, I'm like Ricky Stanzi. I might throw a pick 6, but then I'm going to respond with about 5 more touchdowns.
I ain't scared. Do you see me? Do you see me scared?
A little bit.
Mm.
You got a poker face going.
That just means you're. That just because your camera sucks.
Yeah, it probably does. I'll get a new computer eventually.
Once that money starts rolling in from this podcast.
Hey, so Cody, I guess since you brought up Madden, we're kind of. I mean, there was just kind of a big event over the weekend. Do you want to talk about football?
I thought you never asked. Well,
should we start with the draft, because it was the draft, and probably the biggest story. The biggest story from the draft was Iowa's own Torrey Taylor getting drafted in the 4th round by the Chicago Bears.
I mean, yeah, and then I think the biggest story was that Caleb Williams texted him and said, "You're not going to punt a lot here," which is a lie. And why would you take away the best player on the team?
And poor Caleb, he just set himself up for massive failure. When that all happens, of the fact of they're going to be punting a lot.
Oh, every punt is going to be so funny because, like, well, I thought we were going to punt, but there's just going to be people talking smack, which I'll be one of them. But
as a Packer fan, I
don't even have a hatred. I don't have any hatred for the Bears.
Yeah, as a Packer fan, I'm born to hate the Bears, so I have to.
It's true.
So I mean, basically for the first part of the draft, everything kind of went chalk to an extent. Where Caleb Williams went 1, Jaden Daniels went 2 to Washington, Drake May went to New England at 3.
Drake May went 3.
Marvin Harrison went to the Cardinals at 4.
4 to Arizona.
Joel went to the Chargers at 5. And then we skip a couple and we get to pick number 8. And my, oh my, that's where the fun started.
The Atlanta Falcons just paid Kirk Cousins heaping amounts of money, 4-year contract,
mostly guaranteed,
$180 million.
I think a lot of it was guaranteed.
90-some million of it's guaranteed.
So what do?
And then
you draft his replacement already.
Pick a quarterback.
Yeah. Now, I will say, as
crazy
people who have listened to this podcast from day one know, the guy who they took was Michael Penix, who I'm a big fan of Mike because was at Indiana.
Yeah.
And I think the dude's a straight up baller. And if I wanted him to go to one place, or not one place, but a place, I want him to go to a place where he could at least sit for a year or two. That way he wouldn't die, because he does have a pretty fragile body. And maybe he can bulk up a little bit more. But I really think Atlanta's not a bad place. I do not hate the pick.
I don't hate the pick. I just hate the... Okay. If you had just signed Kirk Cousins to a 2-year deal, it makes more sense to me. But a 4-year deal, with so much guaranteed money, is where my issue is. Like, yes, it's the Packers'
philosophy
way that they've done it, but this is a new guy coming to Atlanta too. It's not like he's seasoned in Atlanta. He's been there for a few months, hasn't played a game for Atlanta, and now you're already getting his replacement ready. Like
that is true. But a couple things. One, maybe they know something that we don't about Cousins' Achilles injury. Maybe they don't. Maybe he might not be. Which, I mean, to backtrack on that, though, that is stupid, though, if you pay the guy all that money. But maybe there's a clause on the contract. And you never know. But at the same time,
it's true.
I think only the first 2 years are guaranteed, of all that guaranteed money. So they can actually kind of save themselves after that if they do want to move on to Penix after that.
Which, that would make sense. It just threw people for a loop. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't, in all the mock drafts I had looked at, I had not seen Michael Penix to the Falcons at all.
I wonder how Kirk feels. I mean, it sounds like he was kind of blindsided by it, which is obvious, but...
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Hey, since we're actually on YouTube, we have a podcast visitor now. Or podcast guest.
Yeah, this is Say hello to Bella. Thank you for your butthole.
Um, so yeah, so that kind of set things in motion. And then for some reason the Vikings traded up one spot with the Jets. Not because they were scared that the Jets were going to take a quarterback. I think they were scared somebody else was going to jump them.
They yeah, that the Jets were going to trade it to somebody that wanted a
Yeah.
quarterback.
So they draft Mr. Oh my gosh, JJ McCarthy, who,
You're a big fan, right?
yeah, yeah, and so is my Vikings fans brother or brother here. Um, I know Austin does not like the
You can
pick.
see the cat
Yes,
is on the other side, and that is his tail
yes. For our just audio listeners, yeah, Cody's cat. The tail is it's
coming in and out of
yes.
screen.
See, I couldn't. It's cool that I can actually use that line too, just for our audio listeners. That is
That's
pretty cool.
true.
Um, but I mean, I know the rumors have been with the McCarthy to the Vikings, like basically from the inception of the after the Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of that pick. If I was a Minnesota fan, I would not. Because yep,
I've talked to some Minnesota fans that are very high on him. They were also high on Ponder. They were. I mean, I would say like Teddy Bridgewater. I think I was high on Teddy
oh, I was
Bridgewater.
too.
It's just
Teddy just got hurt.
his yeah.
You got to remember too. This is the same fan base that thought that Kirk Cousins was their Lord and Savior after they went to the NFC Championship game.
That's true.
They're not the
I
smartest people in the world.
I'm not I'm not an anti Kirk Cousins guy by any means though.
I still can kind of be one.
He's done. That's
But
yeah.
Ken,
I'm more of an anti Aaron Rodgers guy.
don't worry, he's not our problem anymore. So
I know. He's a Jet. I hate the Jets.
temporarily he's the Jets. Which hey, I will say, Jets got new uniforms, or kind of they updated more. That went to the classic look. I do
Yep.
like that a lot.
I do too. It ticks me off because I think the Dolphins have one of the nicest throwback jerseys, and they never like the people are clamoring for it to be their all time jersey, which I don't know how I feel. Like I like seeing it. It's my favorite, but like it's kind of cool being a once in a while
Yeah,
jersey.
like I really think that if I'm Miami, I keep with their current logo, current look. They run that throwback a couple games, and then they also just want the one time run the orange jerseys.
Yes, like Monday Night Football
Yeah,
orange would
I
be
mean,
nice.
again, we're not asking for a lot. We really aren't. We're just people who know uniforms, or think we know uniforms.
Exactly. We we spend too much time looking at stuff that nobody cares
Yeah.
about.
And then I guess rounding out the quarterbacks in the first round, Bo Nix to Denver. I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like a reach. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think Nix is going to help you
But
compete with Patrick Mahomes. Could be wrong, but
no,
um,
no.
and then also, what are the Buffalo Bills doing? Like for those who don't know, they kept trading down in the first round, and of all teams they traded down with, were the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
It's worked out.
who they traded down with before.
Yeah, and Kansas City ended up with what's his name? Mahomes. That guy.
Yeah, he's okay. He's worked out okay for them.
Only got him 3 Super Bowls, but not not bad.
Yeah,
Um.
so far.
So, how do you feel about Miami's draft?
I give it a solid B plus. Like I think they did a lot of. I think they went with best player available, which I like a lot. They kind of glossed over some needs a little bit, but as I think they need interior linemen, and they ended up with an exterior with a tackle, and
Is he a swing tackle though?
I liked.
Like, could you
No.
okay, so he's not like what Green Bay
No.
does, where they draft just
He's
versatility.
He's 6'7", 331 pounds.
Oh,
Of
could you imagine him on in the interior though? He'd just be mulling guys out of the way.
he would be, but if you have to pull, he ain't your guy.
That's good. That's a good point. You just don't pull. You just don't have him pull.
Don't have pull. But then they got Chop Robinson, who in the first round, who's kind of. I really like that pick. I wanted interior lineman, like I said, but I do like that pick with Miami having had depth issues with edge rushers. They lost a lot of them last year, and I mean, 2 of our best ones, Jalen Phillips and Chubb are both coming off like season-ending injuries, so it's like kind of, are they going to be healthy at the beginning of the season? So this guy might get some very good reps early on in the season and be more depth later in the season. So,
and then did you guys get a running
that's
back?
my hope. Yeah, we got Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. Okay. I think he was like the third overall or third rated running back. We got him in late, and he's what Miami loves, some speed.
Yeah, you guys are the Legion of Zoom, basically.
Yes, for sure. Okay. I'm fighting this cat right now. But and then they actually got two Washingtons on there they drafted this year. Nice. Also. I don't know their first name, but they're both wide receivers their draft was pretty all right. We'll say, like, you can't really judge them until 3-4 years from now, really. Like, how many times have you heard of a player like, I love this pick, hate this pick, whatever, and then opposite happens, like people rated Trubisky higher than Mahomes.
That was good, right? That worked out good.
Yeah, that worked out really well for Kansas City.
Oh, the Bears. Maybe they finally got it right this time. I hope not, but maybe they finally got it right this time. Well, and I know, like, a lot of people that the Packers take in the first round are like not quite long-term projects, but they're really waiting, like, for them to explode from year 1 to year 2 and then year 2 to year 3. Like, Rashawn Gary, people hated the pick initially. They hated him his first and second year because he really didn't produce, and then the third year he, like, exploded. So,
yeah.
And obviously, I mean, they didn't draft a quarterback that nobody liked the pick either.
Nobody liked. Yep. That was a very chastised pick at the time.
Yes, it was. What were you gonna say?
How do you feel about your Packers draft overall?
I like it. I would give it probably B+, A-. I like the direction that they went. So, they got, I think it was Jordan Morgan is the kid's name. I feel bad that I do not know the name. But they got a big tackle out of Arizona with their first round pick. Like, kid, very good. He only gave up, I think, 3 sacks total his last 2 years starting at Arizona. I think that's pretty good. So that'll be good. The second round, they got a safety, Javon Bullard from Georgia. Dude can move, he can hit, and he can fly. Packers have not had any of that on the back end of their defense, really, at all. Like, normally, their guys have been scared to tackle, and it's like everybody that they basically drafted in, like, the second round on, they like to hit and blitz. And then they got, Edgerrin Cooper, I think, from linebacker that they got from, I want to say, Texas A&M. A good middle linebacker. Uh-huh. He's also fast, so you pair him with Quay Walker, and the Packers probably have two of the fastest just middle linebackers. Not saying that's going to equate to anything, but they at least got speed.
Yep.
And then they drafted a running back.
Something you can't teach.
And then they drafted a running back from USC, who some people say might be the best running back in the draft. Marshawn Lloyd, I believe, out of USC. So give him a nice little 1-2-3 combo with him, Josh Jacobs, and A.J. Dillon. And then we got some other pieces down the road, some for special teams and some just for more depth. So I like what we did.
How is Green Bay done with undrafted free agents?
Very well. Like, I think they have the longest streak of at least one making the roster.
Okay, I was gonna say Miami's got a pretty good run of that themselves, and like players that contribute.
Mm-hmm. And again, you know that those undrafted guys, they're gonna be fighting tooth and nail just for everything because they know it's just they weren't the highly touted prospect coming out. Like they're scratching and clawing for everything.
They got a chip on their shoulder. There's nothing given to them. They're fighting for a paycheck. Yeah. They're fighting to get their name out there. Who do you have a favorite undrafted free agent that's played for the Packers?
Ooh. That's what I gotta think. I don't know. I'd have to do some more research. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I know there are some. Like I think Sam Shields. I don't think they drafted him. I could be wrong on that.
He worked out really well.
Oh, I know.
Well.
And then
I know. I have a few from Miami.
Go ahead.
Miami had Devon Best was one. He was a very good slot receiver for us for quite a while. Then there was I don't think Miami wasn't the original one to draft him, or to not draft him, I guess, to sign him, was Cam Wake. He was a Pro Bowl player for us. One of the quickest twitches I've ever seen in football.
Okay.
Like, almost made you think that he was going early, but he was just so on time that it was crazy. Like, he beat the offense half the time. It was crazy to see his step off the snap. And then actually another one was Wes Welker. He was, I believe, he was undrafted but signed by San Diego originally, went to the Miami, played there for a few seasons. I wonder if I have that. Yeah, Wes Welker in 2004, he had in one game, he kicked an extra point, a field goal. He had a kick return, a punt return, a tackle, and no catches.
Holy mother mercy.
But he ended up, and he is the 27th most catches in NFL history on the list.
Not bad.
But he had a game where he had he scored 4 points by kicking a field goal and kicking an extra point.
Dang.
In week 4 of the 2004 season.
Dang.
It's a fun little fact I've been holding on to, trying to find the right moment to use it, but it felt right.
That's good.
And now he actually coaches for the Dolphins, so that.
Oh, I did not know that.
He's the wide receiver coach there. Yep.
Do you guys have any kind of undersized white guys that you can help transform?
With concussion history, probably not.
Okay. Hey, I did look. Yeah,
but,
Sam Shields was undrafted. I love Sam Shields. He was an instrumental part to the Packers war run. If only he would have stayed. He had concussion issues, so unfortunately his career got kind of shortened.
Yeah. That's too bad. Did you see they're going to be wearing they have the option to wear that Guardian helmet over top of their helmet this season?
That's interesting.
It is.
I wonder how many players are actually do it.
Quarterbacks, I think some of them will.
I could see offensive linemen doing it.
Offensive linemen, yeah, for sure.
Oh, especially.
So if people that aren't familiar, look up the Guardian helmet. They're big and beefy. It's like an extra layer of. It's like a memory foam on top of your helmet, basically. Yeah. Like it looks like that. I don't know what they're made out of.
It's supposed to help with concussions and head injuries and stuff.
So they're looking at ways to prevent what happened to Antonio Brown, I guess.
Yeah, that boy went off the deep end. He went massively.
CTESPN.
Yep. Yeah, he needs help. He needs a massive amount of help. He really does.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any other big or questionable picks that you remember or that you saw at all?
I'm sure there were. I will say, I hate to say this, but Buffalo traded back a lot, and I think they ended up with a worse wide receiver than the ones that they traded back from to let other people get for some reason. But their wide receiver that they did get is going to be a lot of fun to watch and watch it when he's getting interviewed and stuff like that. He's a character for sure. What's his name?
Keon something.
Keon Coleman?
Yeah, Keon Coleman, I believe, out of Florida State.
Out of Florida State?
Yeah, pretty cool character.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say, and I know this was a kind of a later round pick, but the Jets took Jordan Travis out of Florida State, a quarterback, I think with their fourth round pick. He's probably not going to play at all this year. Well, he won't anyway because with Rodgers, but I don't even know if he'll suit up at all because I think he tore his ACL or he busted up his leg the last game of the year before the before the ACC title game.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Pretty. I liked him a lot in college. Like I think that's actually not a bad move for the Jets. Like if they can get him back healthy and he can just learn a little bit from Rodgers. If Rodgers is willing to teach him. I mean, Rodgers has done well with Love. I mean, I keep seeing other posts of, I think like they were at like flag football charity event together, like those two, and then like Jared Goff
cool.
and a few other quarterbacks and stuff.
Interesting.
So, well, Cody, I know we keep wanting to talk up highness or the good parts here of the draft, but I think should we dive into our top 5 and bring it back down?
Well, let's see. Is there anything else? This moment of stupidity is brought to you, of Cody's stupidity is brought to you by Decora Pest Control by Cass. Maybe not the best plug. I'm not sure. But he offers, he sprays for insects and treats for mice and rats. He offers a quarterly service on a regular basis. He also does wood eating insect inspections. Call for a free estimate at 563-419-3251. Tell him the Unrelated Sports Podcast sent you.
You're getting better at these ad reads.
Well, this time I actually opened it up before I went to read it. I thought I had a little bit. I wish I had a better segue into that one, but
it's still not bad. I mean, but because I thought we covered everything. I mean,
yeah, I think you're right. Everything that we were talking about before.
Yeah. So, since it is your birthday, I'll let you be the choice of our top 5 for this week. Would you like to tell the people what the birthday boy chose?
I chose, I guess. Since the draft just happened and we were just talking about some of the players that people hope work out for them the best, let's bring up the people that didn't work out for people. The top 5 draft busts.
Brought to you by Lick Tag Lawn Care.
All right. I will start us off with a guy that I loved in college, and I'm not gonna lie to you. All 5 of mine, I didn't think it was gonna be this way. All 5 of mine are quarterbacks.
Most of mine are.
Which, they get a lot of pressure put on them. They come in. They're supposed to lead their team to the promised land. They're supposed to be the leader. All the wins and losses get put on them, even though quarterbacks or wins are not a quarterback stat. But they've become one. So some of it's unjustly. Some of them they don't get time. Like some of these players probably could have done better in different systems or different coaching, but whatever, it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A couple of these guys have won me over outside of football, or basically like I like them now, but like for their team, not so good. My number 5 authored the greatest college football game in history. One of my all-time favorite players in college, Vince Young. It was number 2 overall pick by the Tennessee Titans. Won Rookie of the Year.
Actually.
Yeah. Oh, was he 10? I thought that was his number. Was he the second quarterback taken?
Might have been 3rd. Because I think it was like Leinart, Jake...
No, he was first round pick.
Leinart, Jake Locker, and then Vince Young, or somebody like that. Or damn, I'm going to look this up now.
I know he was runner-up in the Heisman that year.
Okay, so...
To a guy that just got his Heisman back, Reggie Bush.
Yeah, which, again, about time. About time they gave it all back.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Cutler was in that draft.
But yeah.
It wasn't.
Oh, was he?
Okay. Okay, so just looking over here quick. Let's see. Sorry, I was wrong. Vince went 3. I didn't realize he went that high.
He went 3? Okay.
AJ Hawk was in that draft too.
So what was Leinart was 1.
Mario Williams was 1.
Oh.
Yeah, and not a draft bust. He did have a very good career. And Reggie Bush was 2. Vince Young was 3. DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
So Vince Young was the first quarterback that year.
Yeah, I thought he was like the last, or not the last, but I thought he was the last of the 3. Then DeBrickashaw Ferguson went 4. AJ Hawk went 5. Vernon Davis, Michael Huff, Dante Whitner, Ernie Sims, Matt Leinart, and Jake Cutler round out your top 11. And then Haloti Nata went at number 12.
Interesting.
Chad Greenman went at number 17. Go Hawks. Just got through it.
Where did he play?
The Queens. Oh, thanks.
Just wanted to rub that in.
So, getting to my number 5, there could be a common theme with these next two. We're gonna go with Zach Wilson at number 5. I know it's very recent, but his career's dead. It's over. It's.
I think I've already gotten your number. I think I have figured out your number 4.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Just from that,
Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick. What 2011 or not 2011 2021, right?
2021.
Taken right after Trevor Lawrence, right ahead of Trey Lance, which he's not on my list. I should have put Lance on my list.
No, I should have put Lance on my list too.
My gosh, that quarterback draft class is awful. It's so bad.
It's not good.
But yeah, Zach Wilson. It's just he went to the Jets and it's so bad. It's just I got nothing else.
Even that draft class premier guy has had some struggles.
Yeah.
As of recently.
Yeah. Oh, sunshine.
So I'm gonna go with my number 4. So there's a funny story with my number 4 is he was a guy that the Dolphins were said to be picking. And I have a cousin that was a Dolphins fan actually, and he told me that this was the reason that he stopped being a fan of them. Instead of taking their quarterback, the Dolphins took Ted Ginn Jr. and his family instead of Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn, who he ended up going to the Browns. And he did not have a stellar career.
Now he's in TV.
Now he's in TV, and I don't mind listening to him
failed quarterbacks
once in a while.
They go to TV now.
Some good ones do too, though.
Shout out Dan Orlovsky, failed QB, but excellent TV.
God, he's a great analyst.
Not that he was a high pick, but I mean,
no,
I love Orlovsky.
But he did jump out of the back of the end zone.
Yep, with Jared Allen just not laughing, but is he just pointing at him? Yeah. I think Miami definitely made the right choice drafting Ted Ginn. I mean, not that Ginn had a stellar career.
Looking back at it,
he had a very good career.
Had a long career. He was fast.
Very fast. So you want to take a guess what my number 4 was or is?
I am gonna go with he is currently on the Vikings roster.
Correct.
Samuel L. Darnold.
That was clever.
I don't know what his middle name
is. I would actually laugh if it's L. If it is an L. But yes, Mr. Seeing Ghost himself, Sam Darnold. Jets trade up to number 3. Take him in that draft class. Right behind Saquon Barkley. Right behind Baker Mayfield. And yeah, he's bad. I mean, he even tried to he couldn't stick in Carolina. Tried to make it as the backup to Brock Purdy in San Francisco. And he sucked there too. So now Sam's gonna probably be the starter. Oh, his middle name is Richard, by the way. So that doesn't. Yeah.
Dick.
But yeah, the boy's just he's not an NFL quarterback. He's just bad.
No, not a fan.
Who's your number 3?
My number 3 has already been mentioned in this little segment. Quarterback taken out of USC. He's a lefty.
Ooh, okay.
Matt Leinart.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He did not have the career that people thought he was gonna. He was the opposing quarterback in the greatest college football game of all time that now exists again. Star-studded game, but Matt Leinart never really panned out as the Arizona quarterback.
No. And you know what's funny, though? I do remember, I don't know if it might have actually been Vince Young's first start, because I don't think he started right away. But the Titans had to play the Cardinals. I think it was the Cardinals, and Vince Young engineered a last-second drive to actually win that game. If I'm remembering right. I don't want...
That wasn't the one where they had the 99-yard drive to end it, was it?
And that might be the game I'm thinking of.
Because I remember he had a beautiful drive, like 99-yard, like under 2 minutes.
That might actually be it.
Crazy drive.
Which is insane, just how everything just times a flat circle.
Yeah.
So my number 3, and this one hits close to home. So was it 89? The Dallas Cowboys had the first pick. They took Troy Aikman. Totally fine.
Yep.
Packers didn't need a quarterback at that time because I think they had Don Mikowski still. So the Packers had a choice between an offensive lineman out of, I want to say, Michigan State. His name is Tony Mandarich. Very big, beefy guy. Or they could have taken this guy named Deion Sanders. He wasn't bad. This guy named Barry Sanders. I don't think he was bad either. Or a linebacker by the name of Derek Thomas, who was really good when he played for the Chiefs. Oh, who we got here now, Cody?
This is Marino.
Look at the puppy.
My boy.
Man's best.
He was my birthday present 12 years ago.
That's awesome. Man's best friend.
Yes, sir. Been a good boy.
But
ow.
Nice.
You're okay, buddy.
So instead of picking either of the two Sanderses or picking Derek Thomas, the Packers went Tony Mandarich, and that flamed out in a hurry because that boy used steroids. That's how he got so jacked, and
that
went down.
That's a no-no.
Downhill in a hurry. Could you imagine Brett Favre with Barry Sanders? Like if Barry Sanders had, and then we make the trade for Brett Favre. We have more Super Bowls in Green Bay.
Do you know how many times I've thought about Barry Sanders and Dan Marino together?
Poor Barry just got stuck in Detroit.
He carried Detroit everywhere that they went.
He did. I mean, just going back and seeing some of his highlights, it's freaking insane.
And yeah, he was his feet. Just watching his feet were
so quick, so quick, and then retired so early.
Yeah. So did Calvin Johnson Jr.
Okay, so are 1 and 2 going to be roughly the same? I'm thinking.
I'm assuming they're probably exactly the same.
We'll see.
My number 2 was taken as the number 2 overall pick by the Chargers. Yep. Ryan Leaf.
Yep.
Who you know what? I think I like the fact that he's just owned up to like all of his mistakes, and like I think we've talked about this many a time, that redeeming quality, like he just vulnerability and all that stuff like that. He showed that and kind of made you root for the guy almost.
He turned his life around. I mean, he was in jail.
Yeah, prison.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, and he's like now. I know he'll be on the Dan Patrick show from time to time, or even the Rich Eisen show, and it's just like that's what you like to hear. That's what you like to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also my number 2 because I mean you're taking after Peyton Manning, and it just can't. Yeah, I mean, and those Chargers teams were bad.
Yeah.
And there's a video of him yelling at a reporter in the locker room and stuff like back in the day. And it's just unfortunate. But
yeah,
there can only be one number 1, Cody.
And he was paid a lot of money as a number 1 overall pick.
He held out, I think, like his first, was it like 12 games? It was something like that. He held out a lot.
Yeah. He was busy studying the game film.
He must have been studying those blitz tapes.
That could be the name of our episode.
What?
Studying the blitz tapes.
Tapes, okay. I like it.
Yeah, there's no mystery behind this one. Jamarcus Russell, Oakland Raiders.
Big armed quarterback at LSU.
He could throw that ball 80 yards from his knees.
Throw the ball over those mountains.
Yes. He also, by the end of his career, looked like a left tackle.
Yeah.
He was a big boy.
He's still a big boy. I mean, I think I've seen some pictures of him.
I think he's bigger.
Yeah. Which, I mean, normally, you see players go the other way when they're done playing. And
yeah,
unfortunately for Jamarcus,
he's
like the other way.
Some of those big boys, you see them, they're beefing up during football season and all through their career, and then they get out and then they slim down, which is the opposite of like what a lot of we would do in our
Yep.
retirement years is we bulk up like I am
Yep.
right now.
But
I need to lose weight.
You're just fun size, Cody.
Fun for who?
I'm not going to answer that question. But yeah, no. Yeah, Jamarcus was supposed to be the person that brought the Raiders back from the dead and everything, and then
And he dug him a little deeper.
yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
deeper.
Like when you show that you're not committed as an NFL quarterback like that, it's kind of what got Johnny Manziel in trouble. That's what almost got Kyler Murray in trouble until they had to put a clause in his contract about playing COD. But yeah.
So for those that don't know, Jamarcus Russell was like it's famous that his coaches did not think he was watching game film or doing any so they gave him some tapes and asked him to study them, and he brought them back and they asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, I was watching the blitz packages or
something like that, blitz
they
packages, or watching the blitz tapes or something in that regard. Yeah,
something on, and they gave him blank tapes just to see if he was watching them.
And within what, like 3-4
when you're taking the number 1 overall pick and you're putting a lot of money and time and effort into this guy to rebuild your organization, it's not a good look.
Well, and it took the Raiders basically till they got Derek Carr to basically revive their franchise.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the oldest organizations. I mean, there's a lot of history there, and like people love the Raiders.
Yeah, their fan base is...
Football's better when the Raiders are good.
Well, because it's like kind of with Dallas in the sense of they're a villain. Like, you either love them or you hate them. There is no in between. And unfortunately, Raiders spent a first round pick on him, and that was after, like, what was it, like 5-6 years prior when they spent the number 2 overall pick on Robert Gallery, tackle out of Iowa, and Gallery just couldn't stay healthy, unfortunately. And when you whiff on big picks like that, it sets your whole franchise back.
Especially when they're that early.
Yeah. But, and again, that's just what bad organizations do. So, I mean, the Gallery part was just bad luck, but the other stuff's just like, yep.
Stupid teams do stupid things.
They do. Hopefully Minnesota, you learn from your McCarthy mistake eventually. But so yeah.
You don't want them to learn.
Oh no, you're right. You're 100% right. I just want them to keep failing. That's why I hope Chicago somehow fails with Caleb Williams, because I don't think they invested in their O-line still, and that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Or you could just do what the Chargers did, how I texted, or the picture I sent you, how you double up on great offensive linemen, just throw it to another wide receiver who can't catch, only to be caught by another wide receiver that you drafted.
Yeah. That's a great meme. Someday we'll get like good enough to like show this stuff on some of these things on here.
I'll have to watch YouTube to figure out how to do all this. So
sounds like a great idea.
So yeah. So speaking of YouTube, like we said,
people please subscribe,
give us a
liking,
like
watching.
Tell your friends, even if they don't watch us, tell us to subscribe. We'll just keep adding those subscription numbers.
Yeah, let's get it up from 6 to 16 million. That's all we're asking for.
I mean, we're go big or go home. That's our mantra, right?
Exactly. Watch out, Joe Rogan. And then and if you don't like YouTube or like in your car, listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Yep. Keep liking, subscribing there.
Again, you can like us on all the different platforms that we're available on. It just helps us.
It does. Very important. Please help us. I need to be able to buy more Lego sets.
Yeah, we got to help Cody pay for his Legos here.
And my kids too, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, they can buy their own Legos eventually.
Fair.
They can do yard work or other start a lemonade stand. I don't know, do kids still do that? I don't know if they still do, but
I don't think I would trust adults to come buy it. Honestly,
that's fair.
That's just the problem. Like, I don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah, we're in a kind of a sketchy part in society at the moment. But on that note, any other parting words, Cody?
Yeah, I believe fullbacks are people too.
Yes, they are. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Torrey Taylor for Rookie of the Year.
Because much like fullbacks, punters are people too. Where the
punting is
winning. I need to get that shirt. I need to get you that shirt. That can be my birthday present to you. But yeah, thank you, everybody, for again coming along on this wonderful ride that we have. And I guess we will see you next week.
Yep. Can't wait.
That's great. Can't wait. Go Stars.
Is it still recording?
Yes, I thought it had stopped. Oh.